Hiya then folks, welcome to this episode of Boating on a Budget. Here we are again, Dawn.
A rainy day.
A rainy day, middle of December. What else would we expect?
I know.
But yeah, so today's vlog I think is going to be a bit of a fireside chat.
We are no fire.
Yeah, we'll come to that. You will see a log burner in a bit though, won't we?
Yes,
So,
yes.
but yeah, it's a bit of a fireside chat about where we are, or even show and tell. Do you remember show and tell?
At school.
Yeah, you take your toys in and what have you, wouldn't you, and show people what you've got.
Yeah, love it.
And basically that's what this is going to be, I think, isn't it? Because this last couple of weeks, as you can probably tell, we've not really done a great deal on the boat. Put a little bit of flooring down just as temporary flooring. Again, we'll come to that, won't we? But yeah, we've been doing a lot of buying, a lot of spending money,
Yep.
a lot of organising and sorting things out. So I think we'll kind of run through and show people what we've been getting. So unfortunately, this video is probably not going to have like me dropping ceilings on my head.
That's a shame.
Don't like the way you said that. Unfortunately, either you're not going to have to pull any mouldy insulation out of anything either.
That's not a shame.
No, that's definitely not a shame. But no, so I think obviously you can see here we've been buying a few bits, and we've got a few bits down there, a few bits over there. So we'll have a look, see what we've been spending as hard-earned cash on, and see whereabouts we are on the project, and then we'll talk about this.
Yes.
This.
Taking the roof off.
Indeed. Because as you're probably aware, basically up to there on the boat is steel, and from there on up is fiberglass, and all that's coming off, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to do a complete new roof. And we think we've come to a decision, haven't we, as to exactly, well, not exactly how we're going to do it now, we're not exactly, but we've come to the decision as to like how we're going to do it. So we'll reveal that in a little bit, won't we? But first off, let's have a look then.
What we've been buying.
Where else can we start then? When you start talking to narrowboaters, what do you always talk about?
Toilets.
Toilets. So that's exactly where we'll start. And it might not look like it, but this and this are going to be our toilet, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few options really, isn't there, with toilets. We've got cassette toilet, which is what we've got on nuts and bolts, which is alright. Obviously, you have to empty it every few days. There's pump out toilet, which this had, but we weren't really keen on that, were we? No.
Definitely not.
We didn't like the idea of sort of having to plan routes around where you can pump out, because obviously not everywhere's got pump out, have they? So,
No.
and it's a bit weird, but the thought of sitting in your living room with a tank full of underneath you is not. It didn't really do it for us, did it?
No.
And there's that as well. You find a lot of people with pump out have also got a backup toilet, haven't they?
Yeah, like an emergency toilet.
Yeah, because obviously if your pump out tank's full and you're not near somewhere, so it kind of means that you've got to carry two toilets anyway.
Yeah, I don't see point in that.
So again, narrowboaters will discuss toilets till the end of the world.
Of course they will.
But we've decided to go for this one. What we've done is we've bought this from a company called Compost Toilets. You see what they've done there?
Yeah.
Compost.
Love it.
This is basically the bare bones, if you like, of the toilet, the separator and the bucket, and then I'm going to make the rest.
Yep.
Because I've not got enough to do, have I? You know, so I might as well make a toilet while I'm at it.
Of course you had.
So obviously,
busy.
yeah, keep me busy. This will be obviously a vlog on its own as we kind of get to this point. Cost wise, it was I think £107 for a couple of bits of plastic. That didn't sit well with me.
Sit well.
Oh dear. But yeah, so first off is the toilet that we've been buying. That's a project for the future. Moving on then, what's next? What else did we get?
My tables.
Yeah, tabletops from school classrooms. A little bit of background on that. A few years ago, I used to be a school caretaker. Funnily enough, at the school that I went to school at. And at one stage, we were chucking out a load of old school desks, so I brought a couple of them home. And since then, we've used them on nuts and bolts, haven't we? This was originally the table that we put in at nuts and bolts, with the fold-down legs so it could become a bed, and we made the main headboard out
Yeah,
on, didn't we?
yeah.
And then we saw a lady was advertising, she'd got 20 of them. And we thought, oh, they'd be really good, because they have loads of character, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, who's this?
Got
There's a-
kids' names in them. I just love them. I think they're great.
Should we mention the chewing gum they always come with stuck underneath? or-
Really?
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
So yeah, so she was advertising 20 of them. She was clearing out a shed load of wood, literally a shed load of wood. So we messaged her to see how much she wanted, and she said she'd take 100 quid for the lot, which seemed a good bargain anyway.
It does, yeah.
And since then we have actually looked, and to be honest, they do sell for quite a bit more than that. So we did really get a fantastic bargain there. But we got 20 of them, plus a couple that I already had. But we're going to use them, we think, for probably the kitchen worktops, aren't they? The table, that'll be the dinette table.
Definite.
And maybe odd other bits and bobs, cupboards and things knocking around. There's plenty of them to go out. They're basically about 4 foot long, 2 foot wide. So, like we said, they've got loads of character. haven't they?
Yeah, I think they're amazing, all of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely love them.
So that was one of the first bargains, which we'll come to a similar thing in a little minute, but it shows we didn't have an exact project in mind when we saw them, did we? But it's the sort of thing, when you see it, you've just got to buy it.
Yeah, of course you have. Of course you have.
If we'd not bought them, when's the next time somebody's going to be selling
Yeah.
20 school table desktops? So yeah, there's a few bits that we've just kind of seen and thought we'll get it, and then
Gotta have it, aren't you?
then we'll store it, and worst case it's a load of firewood. No, it's
No,
not.
it's
firewood.
not.
No. But yeah, so it is let's get it, keep it, and we'll use it as and when.
Yep.
Moving on from the tabletops then, we've got another similar thing, and I think these could be the piece de resistance. Do you know what piece de resistance means?
No.
No, I think it's just
Does it
something...
mean they're good?
I think it's something Delboy used to say or something in it. But yeah, these are, as you'll see in the pictures, these are English oak, and there's some old posts. And again, they were for sale for 65 quid for the massive amount that we've got. And I just think they're going to have so much character that things like, again, kitchen cabinets, cupboards, obviously they're going to need chopping down and sawing up, and might mean you need to buy me a new table, so
Might do.
I'll add that onto my Father Christmas list, shall I?
What, with your chainsaw?
Yeah, I'll not be cutting these up with a chainsaw.
I saw that vlog, remember?
Yeah. But yeah, so again, they were for sale 65 quid for a load of them. We didn't directly again have a project, did we? We just thought, kitchen framing, to cut up to make the cupboards and stuff like that. But we reckon cleaned up, sanded up, although not sanded. People might have some ideas as to the best way of...
Yeah.
So-
You need to keep the character, don't
Yeah, we don't want to lose the character of it being old timber.
No.
But obviously we don't want it to look like a fence post.
No.
So yeah, any ideas as to the best way of cleaning it up? We're thinking maybe wire wall, wire brushes, that sort of thing. And then, like I said, we will sort of cut it up into planks. But we just think that with the old character, all polished up and what have you, that could look absolutely fantastic.
I think it could.
But I'm guessing this in itself is probably going to be a vlog or two.
Or 3.
Oh, 3, yeah. Because obviously it's going to take a fair bit of work, clean them all up, plank them all up, work out. Obviously there are odd bits where it's probably beyond saving. And this one looks like a great big baseball bat, doesn't
It
it?
does, but I like this bit.
Yeah, we've kind of
It's
got,
like got character.
we've got, I think 4 with this sort of top. I'm wondering maybe if for sort of the bed or something we can use them as like the bed head or... Oh, again, it was one of them. We've not got an exact job in mind for them, but the price they were, and you're not going to be able to just say, in 3 months' time, we'll go and buy them posts, so we just had to...
How much would they cost you brand new though?
An absolute fortune. So again, I think that brings us to the part of the project that, yeah, I am a tight Yorkshireman, but it don't mean that we're doing everything on the cheap and we're going to end up with cheap, nasty things,
No.
are we? We're doing the right way of doing it, we're just not rushing out and spending a fortune
No.
in the...
Bargain comes along, we'll go buy it, don't we?
Yeah. So, we'll put them to one side and they'll be later for a fair bit of the way down the project when the roof's done and all that, and we're getting on to kitchen cupboards and things. Next on the list then, I think, is basically what's all around us. Various pieces of plywood, 2x2 timber, 3x2 timber. We had a job lot of it, some of which we've used for the flooring, or will be used for the flooring. We have, I must say just quickly, we've just put this bit of flooring down. It is what's going to be the floor, isn't it? But it's not going to be like this when it's actually down, and then it will have laminate or whatever on top of it. But yeah, so we ordered a load of plywood, 3x2 and 2x2 that will be used for various bits around the boat, the framework and things like that and what have you. It did end up causing quite a lot of work, didn't it? Because we couldn't have it dropped off direct to the boat, could we? So we had to have it dropped off somewhere else, which then meant, because it's sheets of ply and it were like 6 metre long lengths of timber, we then had to cut it up and then put it in our little van. So it was basically all last weekend's work, weren't it?
Full weekend's work,
just basically sorting it out, bringing it and what have you. So this is partly why we've not really got a lot done, isn't it? Because we've been doing all this sort of thing. But yeah, the total timber came to, I think it was about £480 that we ordered, something like that.
Ish.
Including delivery. Like I say, unfortunately, not delivered here. We have been quite lucky with that though, haven't we? Because somebody who doesn't want to be named, but somebody who we know has covered that cost for us, haven't they?
They have.
Like I said, they don't want the glory of the name being splashed around on YouTube.
No.
But a couple of people we know said they wanted to help us out with the project, so they've been kind enough to cover that cost for us. So for that, we say a big thank you. You obviously know who you are, and I'm sure you'll be watching. So yeah, that's kind of flooring, framework, that sort of timber. Gets us a good start on the project of getting the bones of it together.
Yeah.
Next on the list then is the log burner, which we've not brought in yet because obviously it weighs a ton. I wouldn't say it weighs a ton. It doesn't weigh a ton, but
it's a fair weight.
It's a fair weight. We bought a Morso Squirrel log burner, which is exactly the same as the one we've got on Nuts and Bolts, because we really like that, don't we?
Yeah.
We obviously we've never used any other log burners, but we seem to have took to that. We managed to work out how to keep it lit through the night, so that it's not gone out completely. Again, while we're at work, we just
pretty much gauging, aren't we, so it stays lit.
And we're not quite doing so much where we end up sat in his pants anymore, where we put too much in and have it like, because it is dead easy to do. You know when people say, is it cold on a narrowboat? And we were sat there the other night at about 10:30, you know, sweat pouring off us. No, it's not cold on a narrowboat. But yeah, so we were deliberately looking for a Morso Squirrel, but we wanted one pretty much the same. The problem is, have I ever mentioned I'm a tight Yorkshireman?
Oh yeah, I live with you, remember?
And Morso Squirrels are pretty expensive. So we've been scouring the ads, literally from probably the day we bought the boat, haven't we? You know, looking at things that we knew we'd need. And one came up the other day, didn't it? £215. Downside was it was in Leicester. We're in Sheffield, the sort of area, so like an hour and a bit's drive away. But it was worth it.
Yeah, I'm going to say it were worth it.
We got there, and quite often when you're buying things, they look better on the pictures, and you get there and you're a bit like, oh. But there's no other way, wasn't it?
It was a surprise.
Like, on the pictures, I think they took it outside, and the flash had bounced back, and it looked a bit dull. But we kind of thought, oh, we'll clean it up and what have you. But we got there, and it was like new, weren't it?
It's like a showroom one, isn't it? It is brand new.
So yeah, £215. I think the only thing it's going to need is new fire rope around the door, but that's a tenner off eBay or whatever. But again, I think it does show these, like we said, we're doing the job right. We're not just bodging it. We've waited till the right things come along at the right price, and then obviously it meant one day after work we had to chip off down there. We had some nice chips, didn't we, from the chipper?
Chips and sausage.
Chips and sausage. And
made us badly.
Both woke up the following morning feeling dreadful, stomach aches and what have you. So if you're ever in Leicester, don't go to the chipper. Is that a bit of a generalisation? Does that mean every chippy in Leicester's dreadful?
Take your pick.
But yeah, so we've got the Morso squirrel. We've not brought it in because, like we said, it's quite heavy. We don't need it in here just yet, do we? So
No.
it's still in back at van. We're going to rock, paper, scissors for who gets it out at van. Are we going on 3 or after 3?
On 3.
Oh, it's a draw. 2, 3. Oh,
No.
it's a draw again. Oh, that'll be me then. So Glenn, I think that's about caught us up with everything that we've been buying and planning and sorting, isn't it? Apart from one last crucial part of the job, the good old roof. Because obviously the whole project pretty much hinges around the roof.
Yeah.
Because for one, we can't do any more really inside, or not much more inside, until the roof's done. And ultimately that is what's going to give us our home, isn't it? The two options really were, obviously, we know for one the fiberglass is definitely coming off. So take the fiberglass roof off, put a steel roof on. Or take the fiberglass roof off and put a wooden timber roof on. And there were pros and cons to either, weren't there? We kind of swung both ways. One day we were saying definitely steel, next day we were saying definitely wood. We couldn't make his mind up as to which way to go.
No.
We know steel is the more, we said traditional way, but it's not really traditional, because the traditional boats originally, they were timber tops, and then obviously as time went on and people started with leisure crafts, it turned to steel tops, and you know, but what have we decided? What's the new top going to be?
Wood?
It is. We're going for wood. We've weighed up the pros and cons, and ultimately, I don't think there's a right or wrong decision, is there really?
There is, because in wood we can build it how we want.
Yeah, I mean
in
that's
steel, they were telling us we couldn't have this shape.
yeah. That kind of is two of the main cruxes to it. Largely the people who we had quotes for doing steel didn't want to keep the sort of shape we've got.
No.
They wanted to do the more traditional roof, and that's the whole character of this boat, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously, ultimately, doing it in wood, we can do it.
Yeah.
We've got the skills to make it out of wood. So we are going to do it out of wood. Will that be the right decision?
Well, we'll soon see.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
I think the one thing we do have to bear in mind is a lot of people, when we say about doing it in wood, they kind of, oh, it'll not last and all that lot. If we use the right materials, it'll give us potentially even more years than us. There's boats out there that are 100 plus years old that have still got the original timber on them. It is, we perhaps know, it's more labour intensive in the longer term. You know, a metal
maintenance
roof,
wise and things like that. Yeah.
A metal roof, you kind of scratch the paint, and even 2 years later, it's just a case of sand a bit of rust off and repaint it. With a timber roof, we've got to make sure if the paint gets scratched off, it's replaced pronto.
Yeah.
Any of the seals need redoing or anything like that, they've got to be done quickly, haven't they? Because obviously once the water and anything gets in, that's where trouble starts. But we want to rebuild it how we want it.
Yeah.
We want the fun of being able to do it ourselves. So we're going to do it in wood.
We certainly are.
Any comments, suggestions, other than don't do it in wood, because that's what we're doing.
I said dislikes, we're happy for that.
But yeah, any suggestions as to anything people who've perhaps done wooden tops before? We're not saying by any means we're an expert at it. We've never built a wooden top for a boat before, so any suggestions, drop them in the comments. But yeah, so we're going to do it in wood. We will say, price-wise, we did price it up. And we reckon by the time we were done to do it in steel, it was going to be about 10 grand, weren't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we had a few quotes and they were talking, if you like, I mean, we'll not go into too much detail because it'll get boring, but to do the basic framework and the basic sheeting was up to about 5 grand, weren't it? But then obviously from that, you've then got to cut windows out, you've got to make hatches, you've got to make doors.
Yeah.
So we reckon it was going to be about 10 grand. And realistically doing it in timber, I mean, we'll see obviously as it goes along how much, but it's going to be cheaper than that. But the cost really wasn't the the be all and end all
I
of
would say
this,
the
was
price weren't the
if
clinch dealer, were it?
No,
Let's be fair.
if we thought steel was what we wanted, we'd have.
Yeah.
I'd have been emptying these pockets. No, so yeah, there was the cost element, but that wasn't the decision
No.
as to what we went for. Wood is what we want, and wood is what we're going to get.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think that about wraps it up then, doesn't it, for this vlog? We've gone through what we've bought, what we've sorted, what decisions we've made. I think the only thing is now we do need to try and crack on with it, but the problem we do have is, I think we've said in previous vlogs, obviously we both work full time, don't we?
Yeah.
At the minute it's cold and dark by the time we finish work. There's not any heating on here, there's not proper lighting or anything other than there's little rechargeable lights, so we're limited on working on it in an evening. We work weekends as well, so just this time of year it's been a bit slow going, hasn't it, and a bit frustrating. So hopefully over the next month or two we'll still be cracking on and we'll be getting vlogs out there, and more important than the vlogs, we'll actually be getting on with the actual project.
It's going to be slow, innit?
Yeah.
While it's my daylight hours are a bit short.
Yeah, we'll get back to getting stuck in. I think one of the next bits is going to be, we're just going to cut a section of roof out, aren't we?
Yes.
Because I think we're going to cut a little bit out at the front there, so we've kind of got the profile and we can be having a proper look at exactly how we are going to build framework and exactly how we're going to do it. So that'll be quite exciting, or nerve-wracking,
Can't wait.
or a bit of both. You know, just chop a section of your boat out in the middle of winter when we're probably going to get snow and rain and wind.
You're making it sound so exciting.
Hopefully people have liked the video, and hopefully they'll rejoin us when we start doing the fun bits, because these last couple of vlogs have been a bit sorting out and things, haven't they? It's not been getting stuck in. We want to get stuck in, don't we? We want to get going with it. So yeah, hopefully people have liked it. Not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel and
Press the bell.
ding the little bell, and then you get notifications. But other than that, I think we'll crack on, and we'll see everyone next time, won't we?
Yes, you can make a brew.
Can't make a brew, there's no kitchen.
Oh yeah.